Seven reasons to watch Amazon Prime's Fleabag now. I never expected to recommend a show that's on, since I've previously batted 0.000 in terms of enjoying the streaming service's exclusives. But that pattern and even though I constantly feel physically incapable of binge-watching a show, I ran through Fleabag in less than 5 days, an experience so great I had to share it with you. Here are the top 7. Vulgar to a point that passes shock value, firing nuclear-level truth bombs, and shattering taboos in a near-casual way. Phoebe Waller-Bridge's show Fleabag You. She's the creator, writer, and stars as the titular character. You is a great introduction to one of the biggest rising stars today. If the show's style or her voice seems familiar, that's because Waller-Bridge has already been immersing herself in pop culture, having voiced the droid L337 in, and serving as writer and producer on the critically acclaimed series, which takes the extra-ness of Fleabag but places it inside the characters of a European spy drama. Oh, and sorry, we can't answer the question what. While you may hear Fleabag hyped as a show with women behaving badly, a concept that Amy Schumer pushed until she fell off the radar, there's more to the show than that. The titular Fleabag, at times, reminded me of writer Roxana Gay's non-fiction book, a collection of essays wherein the author expresses how her lived experience can feel contrary to the expectations of modern feminism. In one season too many TV shows with decent writing suffer from making everyone sound the same. It's why I gave up. Fleabag rattles off words with the rate of a touch typist, but her father and godmother speak in a more deliberate and less trustworthy tone that feels as if each word has been chosen out of fear of betraying themselves. All of these characters, when Fleabag chats with either her sister Claire or the men in her life who can keep up with her, the show delivers conversations that feel like sport. Whether the characters, somehow, things get better with Fleabag's monologue-esque confessionals, where she breaks the fourth wall and talks straight to the camera, constantly delighting and even tugging at the heartstrings. Waller-Bridge has, whether it's just a brisk aside or a truth bomb-laden diatribe, Fleabag just says all the things we're too uncomfortable to say. Fleabag's family is a fractured one, with death at its core, and those tenuous connections repeatedly barely survive each episode. It's reminiscent of, as the token black sheep of her family, Fleabag's got to deal with bad comparisons. In particular, I won't even get into Claire and Martin's marriage, though that's a bag of snakes you need to see for yourself. While Fleabag may come across at times as uncaring, mean-spirited, and petty, her godmother You, played by Olivia Colman, is the show's true villain. At first, but soon, you start to root for Fleabag's each and every transgression against her evil godmother who is unnamed, like many characters in the show. And don't worry that you're not making a major commitment with Fleabag, either. Fleabag's too, but even better, if you ask me, each season feels like a great book or movie. While season 2, and in even better news, the second season doesn't feel unnecessary, or like many shows that it's trying to stretch the premise of the original for the sake of creating content to feed a hungry streaming service and audiences who want more of the same. Henry is a senior writer at Tom's Guide covering streaming media, security, and Apple. Prior to joining
Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.